Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is Onchain Summer Stories number 8. I'm your host, Jesse Pollack, and I'm joined here by Heno and Ja. I will actually let them introduce themselves. So, Heno, you want to take us away with a quick intro?
Sure. What's up, everybody? My name is Heno. I'm an artist, producer, storyteller across mediums, and Web3 builder for the last few years. But I've kind of been blurring the line between Web3 and traditional music. Happy
I
to be
love
here.
it. Welcome, Ja.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ja. I'm a filmmaker and visual artist. I started in Web3 with music videos with my partner Natasha, then got into 3D animation, and now fully AI art.
Amazing. And one fun fact is that Heno and I have been working and collaborating together for a long time. We both grew up in DC and then moved to Oakland, and I think have been bi-coastal in a big way. And so it's really
Yeah.
special to get to be here with you today.
Likewise, very full circle. Few people
Uh,
have that niche DMV Bay
yeah.
Area connection, so I was like, wow, hit it off right from the jump.
And Ja, great getting to be here with you as well. Um, let's start by talking a little bit about why we're here, Onchain and Zora. So maybe Heno, Ja, one of you can jump in. What's Zora? And what have they done over the last few years to bring the world on chain?
John, you want to take that?
Sure. Zora is a protocol that's I think they've been around since I think 2021, I believe. I got into the space late 2020, so but yeah, they've I think to me Zora it's the hub for like culture in Web3. There's so many different
Mm-hmm.
aspects to it. You can find art there. I remember when it first came out, it was one of the first protocols and marketplaces that had music videos. That's where I really got to with Latasha and I. We got to put out our music videos and things like that. But then there's also things like through Zoratopia where they have education and they educate the community on what Web3 is, and like they have
Mm-hmm.
Zoratopia IRL, which is like shows with Hano performed at, and I think yeah, Zora is just it's like a solar system of just different pockets that you can get facilitated and have a great start and just like really like learn and grow your career in Web3 in
Yeah,
all
Love
you,
facets,
that.
you
art developers. Yeah.
you answered that beautifully. I don't even need to add to that, I think.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. And I feel the same way. Zora's been I've the Jacob and Dee and the folks who helped create Zora and Latasha. I feel like they've done such a good job bringing creatives and culture and music and art into the on-chain world. And
Definitely.
we
Yeah, for
feel
sure.
super grateful to be getting to work with them today and getting to work with y'all to bring your art on chain, on Zora, on base. A
Hmm.
pretty special day. And so maybe kind of stepping back from Zora, I'd love to just hear from y'all, like as you've come on chain or entered Web3 over the last few years, like, how has that changed your life? How has that impacted you? What's your experience been? And maybe we can start with Heno.
Yeah, I could get to that. I would say it's definitely impacted my artistry significantly in the sense that like I've done a lot in traditional music, whether it's touring or collaborating with folks like I don't know, like JPEG Mafia, Mick Jenkins, and stuff like Tori Ma, like a bunch of different and like folks. But one thing I've like learned, at least being in traditional spaces with music, is that folks really kind of like pay attention to like marketing strategies or like what's the single, what's trending. Let's do the thing that's gonna get traction versus when I came into Web3 being in the space for about 2.5 years. It's conversations that have been really leaning into like towards intentionality. People really
Mm,
care about storytelling, care about world building, and kind of just all these different aspects that I feel like I was always very passionate about, but just in traditional, where now being in Web3 and really kind of pushing for all these different mediums of art. On top of that, being able to do cool things with social impact and tying that into my ethos of why I'm in this space and paying it forward has I feel like it just allowed me to have a better sense of who I am, like better sense of like being able to like drive and have conversations in the space with the topics that we're talking about and the art that we're creating. But then even again be able to identify who is supporting us in a way that you can't. Like you could have 100,000 monthly listeners on Spotify, but you can't be like, thank you, Jake in Arizona, for supporting me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like to be able to do that on chain with wallets, to be able to identify and actually build those direct relationships with community has been something that has honestly changed a lot of my approach, both in Web3 and how I navigate the traditional music space.
I
So
love that. I love
yeah,
that. And I mean, the two themes that really stand out to me from kind of what you're saying is, one, as you've come on chain, like you're able to be more of your authentic self, which I
100%.
think is like so, like that's such a consistent pattern of what I hear from people. It's like I came on chain and I felt more like myself. I felt like I had more sovereignty. I felt like I had more autonomy. And then the other one is like I came on chain and instead of everything being kind of like faceless and nameless, I started having meaningful connections with people. And
There's a
like
lot.
I own those connections, and those were like sustainable, and they were a part of my like practice and creation. And I think like that is so consistent in the conversations I've been having with folks in On-Chain Summer Stories and the broader world. Ja?
Yeah, I think to piggyback off that, I think for me, since I've been on chain, when I entered Web3, it's been life changing. It's been before I got into this space. I was doing like freelance video work and editing and graphic design work, and then like pandemic came, all that just went right. It was just all gone, and then I discovered Web3 through two people, Leona Liu, who's an artist in the space, and then Sersu, who showed me the minting process.
Shout out Sarah.
Shout out
Shout out
Sersu in
Sersu.
hand,
Yeah,
black
shout out
hand.
Sersu.
Black
Yeah,
hand. The hand.
Been
yeah,
doing
black
it
hand. Yeah,
forever.
yo, for
So
the longest, and
grateful.
like he put up like this 1, 2, 3 step on like how to mint your first NFT, and like I followed it, and then I had so much work on my hard drive and like on my Instagram that I would kind of use as kind of like a resume, but no one really wanted to, jobs would like give me something like that, but not the actual thing. And so, I put it out there, and then Cersei was actually my first collector, and he collected that piece, and then it was something that just it was just a mind shift. It was just like, wow, like this is something I just made for me that I liked, and it was valued and appreciated in a way that like I've always wanted it to be appreciated. And so ever since then, it's just been like it empowered me to kind of just continue to grow and just continue to build ideas and universes that I've always had that I always wanted to work on. So that empowerment is like the biggest thing that I could think of, and definitely alluding to what Heno saying, like being empowered to even like know your audience and reach out to them and communicate and just have that autonomy to just like do that has been just amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
it's crazy how just crazy how you're speaking like, for instance, like of Sersu and like bringing you essentially or getting you in the space, and it's like me watching videos on chain of you and Latasha was how I understood, okay, like these are people in the space that are doing things, and I kind of want to do so. It's like the way artists bring artists that bring artists. It's like a beautiful, not to say cliche.
Yeah.
It's that chain is really cool, but on chain is also like, but yeah.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, you see, it's summer. It's the summer. Summertime.
It's On-Chain Summer.
Yeah,
here.
that's what we're here for. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's just also what you just opened with, Ja, when you were saying, like, coming on chain changed your life. And I mean, that's how I feel personally. Like, and, when I talk to other artists, and I saw Jacob Horn, who like founder and CEO of Zora, he just retweeted someone saying, like, I did something on Zora and the protocol rewards let me pay my rent. And it's like, yeah, like this is what happens. Like you come on chain and you can live a more empowered life where you can be more authentically yourself and have more authentic relationships with the people who want to engage with you and want to collect your work. And then it can literally change your life. And I think that is, I don't know, that's what I hear from people.
I think yeah, and that speaks to just why it's valuable to be on chain as a creator. Just not only just in that aspect, but like even with transparency. Being in traditional music, sometimes it's like you wait quarterly, maybe biannually, maybe sometimes it's up to a year to get paid for something you may have done so long ago. And sometimes there's haze around those numbers where with smart contracts and with rev splits, being able to be very transparent with whom you're working with, because that's how business should be done. I don't want, me and Ja work together. I want Ja to know that, like on chain and off chain, we're good. So like to be able to have that transparency, to be able to own our IP, to be able to, again, directly connect with the people that we want to in the worlds that we want to build. And people can also get to be a part of watching the worlds that we build in real time. So it's like we're almost building it together. Like it's like a road that we're paving and people get to walk that as we pave. And I just like that type of relationship with folks who are consuming and like wanting to kind of be a part of that journey as the same way that we are on. So that, yeah,
Pretty special.
Yeah, no way to really put it.
Pretty special to be at the beginning of paving that road and figuring out how to do it, but then also figuring out how we create that chain of other people who maybe we saw someone who brought us on chain, and then we do something on chain, and that brings the next person.
Yeah.
So tell me about what you guys are minting today. John, maybe you want to kick us off?
Yeah, for sure. So I'm minting a trailer for a short film that's all AI generated, except for the script. I wrote the script myself, but it's been a project that I've been working on since the top of the year called Helmet City, and I released the first collection in January, and I didn't necessarily have a story around it, and then as I released it, and then as the one thing that I was very adamant about, or like one thing that this collection is based on, was my love for a genre called tokusatsu. If you don't know what tokusatsu is, it's where Power Rangers and all these shows come from. So I loved Power Rangers as a kid, and I loved, I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and hip hop culture. So it was a fusion of all these things. So when I dropped the first collection, it was like when I was seeing the images generate on Midjourney, the story was coming to me as I was releasing. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to release this collection, and then the next one I'm going to go back and explain the story of how helmets came to be in the city and how the city came to be. And so I took these last couple months just digging in, writing the story, fleshing it out. And so this teaser trailer, Helmet City Mecca Gardens, is about a public housing district, and the story that the story that's surrounding this district and the residents in it tells the story of how helmets came to be in this city. And so that's coming in October, but I wanted to drop a trailer to tease that. And so yeah, that's what I'm into.
I love it. I'm excited for the full film. You said you wrote the script. It's all generated with AI. What's your what's the process there for generating that, for creating the visuals?
So I wrote the script just regularly using Final Draft, and that was just like normal way of script writing. But then I took some of the script and then I used that as prompts, and so I wrote prompts around the script that I wrote, and then generated that in Midjourney, and then took it from Midjourney into Runway Gen 2. So I took the images and then brought it over into Runway, and then the AI generated scenes from that image. So everything just came from the script that I wrote. Yeah.
That's incredible. And then you put it on chain. And here we are.
On chain. On chain in the summer.
On chain summer. I love it. Yeah, well, super excited for the full release coming in October. Everyone stay tuned. Hanno, what are you minting today?
Man, so this is the latest installment in a set of visual narrative pieces that I've been making with my team, leading to the album that will come out later this year called I'm Tired of Being Hyper Surveilled. I've been kind of telling this story similar to like at the top of the year, been rolling out with a short film, kind of breaking and introducing these ideas of surveillance, because I think surveillance is a very dense topic and it's something that affects everyone. I think it's not, this is all, just want to also be clear, this is not an answer to surveillance. This is my critique of surveillance, as we are in a world that we have all these technologies continuing to grow and these innovations, but just being mindful of some of the implications of folks who are marginalized, who are already under surveillance on a day-to-day basis, and how sometimes these innovations can be harmful. to some degree. So just kind of having a conversation around surveillance and using real experiences and kind of building an entire world around that's kind of like has elements of like Afro surrealism and um, telling this narrative across different mediums. Whereas, we have short films. Obviously, we have music that's coinciding a lot of this. Some very dope interactive experiences coming very soon, as well as I can't give away too much alpha, but it's a lot of different moving pieces to tell this story again in a multitude of mediums. And I want to just quickly shout out Tara Moves, shout out who has been one of the creative geniuses behind a lot of these ideas with me and Jose Soberanis, Wesley Flores. That's my team right there. We've all been like really intentionally building this world, and I'm excited to kind of pivot it into the next series of things. So this is kind of a tease of what's to come, and again, we're gonna take off with a lot more coming soon in September.
More coming soon.
Forward.
And I've seen some of the alpha, and it's good. There's some incredible creative work coming from Heno and Tara and Wesley and the team. I'm really excited about it. Okay, maybe one last question for both of you. There's other musicians, other filmmakers who are watching this. Like, what would you tell them about getting Onchain and why they should do that?
Do it now. But more seriously, I just think that, like, just to answer, I feel like ownership of what we do is so important these days. I mean, in general, but being able to, because, we use a lot of these social apps and use a lot of things, we end up signing away our ownership of our IP. And I think that anyone that's creating anything should know the ins and outs of what it means to truly own your IP. One. And lastly, I think that I think it's cool to build community around dope ideas and connect with people who are thinking in that same capacity. Sometimes as a creator, it's hard to find those communities, especially if you're doing something very niche or if you're trying to do something innovative. And I think that people in Web3, in my experience, have been very forward thinking and trying to find different mediums to intersect or are big on collaboration and just trying to not do the same thing over and over again. So to anyone that feels that way, like, I feel like this is the space to kind of be able to release your art and to be able to connect with others who think like you, and having fun just making and storytelling has just been my ethos. So I encourage anyone that's into that to, especially intentionally, to do it here.
Yeah, I totally agree.
This summer. On Onchain summer. Let me stop.
I totally agree with everything you said. And just like, in terms of film, like, there's a lot of things going on right now in the film industry, and I feel like it's important to, as independent filmmakers and independent creators in general, Web3 offers tools, again, that can empower us in a way that we haven't been empowered before. And it's really important for us as creatives to utilize these tools and to really, so we can have ownership and we can fully just, build the things that we want to build without, I wouldn't say without interference, but like in a way that where we can look at things more as partnerships, as instead of us giving away our things to a larger entity. We can partner with larger entities if we choose. But I think that's the thing too, empowerment to have choice in how we move creatively. So that's what I'd say too.
I think the empowerment also creates leverage.
Exactly.
So I think that's where that comes from too. I think knowledge and stuff, all of that. But I don't want to get into the new platform.
It's a new platform that empowers us and gives us ownership and puts us back in control and lets us earn more and live better lives. And it's Onchain.
Yeah.
And I guess this summer, if you're looking to get started, you can scan this QR code that's down here. That will take you to the incredible work that Heno and Ja are minting Onchain. We also have incredible work from Malia Abidi, who created a Paragon, beautiful vision. And then
Beautiful
Zora's
pizza.
got a Zorb, a summer Zorb, to celebrate
Zorb.
summer, celebrate Onchain summer. So the message I'll leave with everyone here is, if you're an artist, if you're a filmmaker, if you're a creator of any kind, get Onchain this summer. Give it a try. Create something on Zora. Put it on base and see what happens. And I think if you're like us and like many of the other people here, I think you'll find something pretty special. And so
Can I just
we
say
welcome
one?
you. Yeah, go, Hanno.
Just lastly, if you're already making dope stuff and you're putting it on other platforms, it doesn't hurt to also put it on chain. Like it's not an addition. It's not an additional thing. Like, it's best to spread your footprint across mediums.
Go
So
everywhere.
take the things you are making over here and bring them on chain as well. It doesn't hurt you. So
Amazing.
that's yeah.
Awesome. Well, Hanno, Ja, thank you for coming on. Everyone, I will see you again tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 1 p.m. Eastern time for Onchain Stories every day for the rest of August. Get Onchain this summer. See you, everyone.
Thank you, Jesse. Peace.